Check it out, guys. That's right, Spyderco again. I'm always excited when I see one of these up there on YouTube, a Spyderco box. Anyways, this is going to be my 2 cents on the new for 2011 Spyderco Superleaf. This knife's kind of popped up on the scene with not a lot of fanfare, and but I think this knife will pick up some steam. It's got a lot of good things going for it. It's not a real flashy knife, but I appreciate subtlety when it comes to a knife design, and so this knife fulfills some of my requirements. But a couple things that stand out to me, or stood out to me immediately when I was looking into this knife, and now that I own it, dang thing won't focus. But look at the thickness of that blade. Almost twice the thickness of this Spyderco Sage 2. I've never seen a blade that thick on a Spyderco folder. I'm sure there's one out there, but I don't own it, and I haven't seen it. The locking system is the compression lock. So if you're a paramilitary 2 owner, you'll like that. Same locking system. This thing is one of the smoothest opening Spydercos. I'm not sure if it's the compression lock that helps it be that smooth, but it opens pretty much as smooth as my Mannix, and that's pretty freaking smooth. And it's real easy to actuate or disengage, whatever you want to call it. It's got the big old spider hole, which is nowadays I think that's what Spyderco is trending towards, is larger spider holes, even in their smaller knives. You know, obviously not their smallest knives, but it's got your piped lanyard hole, if you're a lanyard person. The G10, slightly less grippy than this Mannix here. And while we have the Mannix, might as well do a little size comparison. Look at that. Almost identical. And actually, good for me, I was actually thinking the Superleaf was going to be too big, but it's actually smaller than the Mannix by a little bit. So it's about the size of a Tenacious, really. It might have a slightly larger handle, but and I found the Tenacious to be a real good manageable size. In fact, almost perfect size for me, in my opinion. But if you're looking for like an in-between knife, like in between, say, a Tenacious, like a Chinese Spyderco, and you know, I don't know, I hate to say paramilitary because it's not really the same knife, but like you know, one of the more expensive S30V Spydercos that they have, I think this is a good option. It's got VG10, which I happen to really like VG10. Speaking of VG10, look at, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but VG10 seems to have like these, yeah, it's not picking it up on this camera, but it's got these striations that, or these little, there you go, you can kind of see it. It's got this weird shimmering effect that I've never seen on any other steel. Like the S30V doesn't have it for some reason. I mean, you can see the, you can see how the, you know, when they sanded it, you can see the lines there. But that's not what I'm talking about. It's only on the VG10 knives. There's kind of like this. See that right there? That shimmer to it. I think that's called galling. It's like the metal's reaction to abrasion and heat, but looks really cool. It's got the love it or hate it wire pocket clip. I personally love the wire pocket clip. I think it's an excellent design. It's deep carry, if you care about that. I'm not real huge on that. I carry my knives proudly, so I think most people like deep carry so it doesn't fall out of your pocket. But what I appreciate about this pocket clip is that it doesn't scrape against stuff quite as bad. It's just got real rounded edges. It's stiff enough to stay in your pocket for sure, and it's real smooth going in and out. That's what she said. Yeah, I'm not super used to this compression lock, but I like it. Your fingers are out of the way when you're closing the knife. You can basically hold it. It's the detent kind of keeps it from just swinging open and closed on this particular knife, but you can hold it and flick the knife out just like that, or you can do your standard flick. But the handle shape was not exactly what I bought this knife for, but it doesn't hurt that it's an excellent. I mean, anytime you have a big handle, it's usually just it's naturally good because of that. But I just think it's a super ergonomic handle, and it's got this little hook in the end there, so kind of makes jimping unnecessary, for actual grip of the knife. But I guess the jimping is really for forward grip, and it's got jimping all along the choil here. Like I said, I'm not a jimping person, but I'd probably put this at a B rating. I actually like the ramp better on the Tenacious, personally, but the ramp on this one is just fine. It's a good ramp. But when you have your finger here and here, it doesn't feel completely natural. It feels like your thumb should be a little further forward, but it's further back, so it's not completely natural. But that's not necessarily a hit against the knife, That may just be my hands that it feels like that. Another thing that I harp on, that I've been made fun of for, is this knife right here, Manix 2, made in the USA. This one, Seki City, Japan. They were able to sand and finish these liners, these metal liners, and you don't see any machining marks. Yet on this American-made one, which you would assume had, the utmost quality control, there's still machining marks all up and down that. But like I said, that's just a gripe that I have that no one else seems to care about. But and it didn't keep me from buying this knife, and it doesn't keep me from liking the knife still. But it just seems like something they could do. If they can do it on this one, and then they can do it on this one, in my opinion. Choosing between these two knives, which one's more ergonomic, which one has a better blade shape, better handle shape. I don't know, man. That's like choosing between a Ferrari and a Lamborghini, I'll take both, personally. But yeah, even though it's not too big, it's still a big knife. I mean, check this out. This Dragonfly, the blade on this Superleaf basically eclipses the Dragonfly completely. Crazy. Still not bigger, however, than my Gigantor Emerson there. But it is a little bit lighter than the Emerson, that's for sure. Emersons definitely aren't made for lightweight. This one's been drilled out. Man, it's not focusing today. I don't know what the deal is with this camera. Yep, drilled out. But, with a blade this thick, you're not going to have a super light knife. But for what the knife offers, it's actually fairly light. Most Spydercos aren't heavy, You can count on a Spyderco basically being light. Lighter, that is, So, you got flow-through construction, which is always good. The thickness of the liners, of course it's not focusing here. Thickness of the liners doesn't seem to really correspond with the thickness of the blade, though, which is kind of weird. But yeah, guys, I think people should look into this knife. I think it's got more going for it than it has not going for it. A lot of people don't like this little square tang end there sticking out, but it doesn't bother me. I think it's a good looking functional knife that y'all should check out. So anyways, thanks for watching my review, guys. Check out Tough Thumb's review too. I think we're the first two on YouTube to have actually reviewed this knife. And if you guys pick one up, you can pick one up for a pretty decent price, and I think it's worth it. So take it easy, fellas.